The time has come for me to move from easy mode to normal mode. Easy mode has just become too easy. It's infested with bots, the player loot is underwhelming, the gunfights are mediocre, it all left me feeling unchallenged. Then I switched to normal mode and I lost all my best gear within the first few raids. In my first few raids I found myself out of position, alone and exposed. I learned the hard way that you can't play normal mode the same way you play easy. If you are on console like me and you can't play for 10 hours a day, stick around because I'm going to share 4 harsh truths that you need to know if you want to survive normal mode and extract with the best loot. I was shocked to learn most of these realities, so my hope is to save you from this and prepare you for the move from easy to normal mode. I'm not gonna lie, this came as a huge surprise for me. I knew going into normal mode that I can't do it alone. I thought that if I go in with squad full, that I'd have the backup I needed to learn the game better. Little did I know, even if you join with squad full, you will end up playing solo 90% of the time. This is no joke. Why? Well, no one actually uses their comms. They all run into different positions and sprint to find loot before you do. And trying to follow them doesn't help either. I've done that and it put me in bad positions around the map and I lost because of it. And when you actually lose, your team is either too far away to revive you or they simply don't care. Either way, going into squad full with a team mindset is the wrong thing to do. You need to go in with a mindset that you are playing solo. This doesn't mean you shouldn't support your squad or be a sucky teammate on purpose, but going in with a solo mindset will keep you safe. You'll move around the map with purpose, from cover to cover, you'll pay more attention to sounds coming from possible players. It will actually teach you how to play more strategically and less recklessly. It will for sure improve your skill level. You have to think of your own safety first. If your squad is still close, don't necessarily follow them into a building. Instead, it could be better to find a more secret entrance to that building or simply wait. You can't trust that your squad is making the best decisions, so you have to make sure that you make the best decision for yourself. At this point, you might be thinking, I'm new to normal mode and going against a full squad is suicide. You are correct and you should avoid those situations in the beginning. But odds are that other teams are also not playing together as a team but rather as solos. This means there will be situations where you only have to deal with one player at a time. And if you do hear multiple footsteps together, it's best to hide away and let them go past you. At some point, you might find one of them on their own, that's your moment. But don't engage a full squad unless you are a sweaty player. In which case, this video is probably not going to take you to the next level, but you are welcome to keep watching and give us some expert tips in the comments. Another useful tip is not to sit and wait in popular areas or close to safes. Let's take Zero Dam Major Substation for example. If you find yourself there alone and you can loot the safe, do it, but then get out of that room immediately. Even if you hear footsteps outside, do your best to avoid them, but get out because they will come straight at you. Instead, find a quiet place to hide that's just on the side. A player might just run past you unknowingly and you can make your move if it's safe. This way, you might be able to isolate a player. The absolute wrong thing to do, which I've done multiple times, is wait in that room or building while the enemy comes toward you. I've spoken to a few people recently and they all said this is just part of the grind. It's the reality of the game and we can't change it. Go into each game with a solo mindset, but be prepared to be a good teammate at the same time. Another big surprise was when I learned that there is no difference between normal and hard mode. I don't know why Delta Force would do it this way. It makes absolutely no sense. But in normal mode, you can take the max level gear and ammo with you. Meaning you can face people using red gear and gold ammo worth 3 million. while you are out there being used to play with purple armor and blue ammo. That means the gap in skill and gear from easy to normal is insane. It would have been better if they just made everything one level higher. This would make the learning curve less steep. It would be so simple if they made it max gold armor and purple ammo. That would make sense. I've seen so many players complain about this, which means it's a valid issue. Unfortunately, we just have to accept that this is the way it is and find a way to make it work. The reality is, the grind is hard for everyone. If I look back at my first games versus how I play now, I'd destroy that guy. And just like I'm struggling now, in a few more games I'd look back and think, I'd destroy that guy. I know it will be same for you when you look back at your previous battles. Do your best to learn from all your losses and take it into your next game. If you are finding the advice so far valuable, hit subscribe. I'm a fellow console player with limited time, and I share weekly advice for players who are in the same boat but would love to become better. I'm in this journey with you. Now that we know the playing field isn't equal at all, what do we do about it? The next two truths will address just that. Playing on easy for a while can give you a false sense of confidence. You might think you are better than you actually are. Truth is, normal mode is not even remotely the same as easy. Sometimes you don't even know where shots are coming from. I lost all my good gear because I was caught off guard, or I was out in the open, or I made some stupid mistake, which you only learn was stupid after you die. So I concluded that I might as well take ticket gear items until I learn not to do stupid things, because at that point I was losing all the time. And even if I had the best gear in those specific moments, it was so bad that it wouldn't even have helped. So I knew my next game I will die anyway if I don't fix these skill issues. I might as well lose cheap gear but learn essential info. And as much as this is true, you also can't go out there playing with cheap gear forever. What started to happen was that I wasn't getting caught out of position as often anymore. I was actually catching the enemies off guard. But I still had a problem. Because I was being stingy, my ammo wasn't penetrating the enemy's armor. It gave them time to react and kill me instead. It happened a few times where I blasted them with ammo, but they didn't go down. And because I was using cheap armor, it took them 3 bullets to take me out. I had them at a disadvantage, yet I ended up losing anyway. So the reality is this: use ticket gear until you can see a clear improvement in skill. But then, it's time to fork out some cash. If I had better gear and ammo, I'd have a much better experience playing normal mode. I use ticket gear that gives purple armor and ammo. Anything less than that is just a waste of a ticket. You can't live off cheap gear forever and expect to be successful. If you go up against someone using gold ammo and you have purple gear, you are a soft target. The problem is, using gold gear and ammo is just ridiculously expensive. Until you're able to consistently catch enemies off guard, I'd personally stick with purple gear and purple ammo. Or I've heard some say you need to have at least gold ammo in your security box. With purple ammo you can do very good damage if you play it smart. There were moments I did pretty well even on blue ammo, even though I ended up dying later that same game. Which tells me I can do a whole lot better if I'm willing to pay for good enough gear and ammo. The final reality is a mindset shift you need to make if you want to be successful. I just want to mention, I'm guilty of all the things I've talked about so far. The fact of the matter is, no matter how good you are, you're going to lose at some point. I've been watching quite a bit of content around Delta Force, and even the best guys lose. And they actually lose quite often too, but they also make it back at some point. To be competitive in operations, you have to be willing to lose millions per game. The great thing is, it's just virtual money anyway. It's not real. I know how nice it is to see your account grow, and losing money is not fun, but you can always make it back. If you are really concerned about the money in your bank, be sure to check out my previous video of how you can make crazy money even if you just started playing. If you have been playing for quite some time, but your account isn't growing as fast as you'd like, be sure to check it out as well. Even if you want to be better in normal, you can still jump into easy and make some money back. I play at least one game on easy before going into a normal mode game. It helps for a warm up and you can earn some money in the process. But as long as you are afraid of losing, your gameplay will reflect that and you will lose anyway. It's been happening to me constantly, I'm hesitant and scared, and that leads me to make the wrong choices and paying for it. At the end of the day, practice makes perfect. You have no choice but to play normal mode or you will be stuck in easy forever. The only way to become better in normal mode is to play normal mode. No amount of easy wins will make you better at normal. Take the losses as learning lessons, think about what you could have done differently and better, try to apply that the next time you play. I really hope this video helps to reduce some of the surprises you are going to get when you start playing normal mode. If you like to see more Delta Force operations content for console players, be sure to subscribe as I'll be focusing on this for the next few weeks at least. As always, happy gaming and see you on the battlefield.